Three, two, one, and we're live. We're not really live, but one day I'm gonna be live. Um, Cale Reid, welcome back. Thank you so much, man, for coming here. For those who haven't checked out his first appearance, he came on the show with my buddy Andrew and his buddy Andrew. Great episode. I highly recommend it. Cale, man, how are you, man?
Good, man. You know, out here living, surviving, what we're all doing.
I love that keyword, surviving, because that's literally how I feel every day. It's just like, but when people ask me, it's like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good, but really I'm surviving.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a spicy episode. I'm really excited because this is not even for the show. I'm really just telling you this, but also my audience. Dude, I'm gonna go out and say I don't believe in controversial things. I really don't. One of the reasons is because it's just a topic to me. Like, are there topics I care more about? Sure. Are there topics I'm more passionate about? Sure. But I don't believe in controversy because this is what I picture. I picture somebody going I say I'm talking about insert whatever controversial topic, and somebody goes like, "Oh, you can't say that." I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, they won't like it." Who the fuck is they? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'm going to talk about it. It's like, people aren't going to like it. Okay, I don't like when people talk about vegan shit. Like, I'm going to talk about it. And you can talk about your vegan stuff. I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, and then I'm such a stubborn asshole. The more you say you can't talk about it, the more I'm like, all right, watch me. Like, just watch me. Oh, bad things are going to happen. Bring it on.
I feel that.
So, yeah, we're going to, what are your thoughts on that controversial stuff?
So, what is the question?
How do you feel about when you hear things that are controversial? Like, what goes into your head if somebody says, "Hey, you shouldn't talk about this"?
I mean, I don't not talk about anything personally. If I have a problem with, okay, honestly, it's really just seeing people getting manipulated, because anything that's controversial are social issues, are things that have to do with an individual's point of view of the world, and you just have no right to question that. But then you realize that everybody's a hypocrite, because you can say you're a Christian but you don't walk like Jesus. You can say you're a Muslim but you don't follow the ways of Allah. You can say that you Black Lives Matter but you anti-black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really a world full of lies, and the only way people are going to wake up and see, which they are, is if more people are like, yo, you're being lied to. And if you're afraid to talk about it because you're hurting somebody's feelings, you're not doing anything for the better.
No.
You know?
I've always said some of the nicest people in my life were people who told me, DJ, you're being an idiot. And because when other people, they hear that and they're like, that's an insult. Like, man, that's you talking down on somebody, talking down on your friend. But to me, I think it's one of the nicest compliments I've ever gotten, because a lot of times the person who said it knows me, cares about me, and they hold me to a high standard. And so when they see me, being an idiot, they're like, hey, you're being an idiot. Like, I need you to get your shit together and act right. And I'm like, okay, you're right. Like, I am being a fool right now and all that stuff. And some of the meanest or just kind of untrustworthy people were people who say, like, hey, man, you do you. They know a lot of times when people say that, it's like, hey, you do you. It's always like, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's good, but hey, you kind of do you and all that stuff. And to a degree, that's valid. But I would have some close friends who'll say things like, hey, man, you do you, but then turn around and start saying, like, man, did you hear what DJ's doing? Like, it's not good. What'd you tell him? People would be like, oh, what'd you tell him? Did you give it any? I told him, you do you.
Basically, people don't want to be criticized.
Yeah, it's like, man, nah. And yeah, there are moments where I'm stubborn, I'm headstrong. I'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about. But then the moment I get hurt, it'll take a while, but then I'll go back to the person and be like, "You were right."
I mean, that starts with, why is it that we can't take criticism?
I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's cop out. Like, oh man, people care about feelings way too much nowadays. But like, I think it's something deeper than that. And I'm not a conspiracy guy, like I really am now. But now I'm starting to believe. I know you are.
We up one. We up.
But now, this is what I'm saying. Growing up, I was never a conspiracy guy. However, now it's kind of hard not to like not be one.
Why is anything that is called a conspiracy when it comes to the United States even a conspiracy?
No, dude. This is what I'm saying. It kind of changed my mind a little bit. Again, like I'm not a conspiracy guy. It's hard for me to admit that, but now I'm like, I'm kind of leaning towards that way. Not full head on, but like right now, I really do think it's control. I don't think it's about, oh, we need to protect people's feelings. I really do think it's control. And one thing that like I reached out to you, you shared a story. Oh man, I forgot to look at it on your phone. Do you have your phone? Yeah. Like real quick, I messaged you on IG. It's probably there, where you shared something on your story, and I was like, dude, do you want to talk about it? Because you called it. You said like, I've been telling y'all this, and I was like, dude, we got to talk about that.
Well, let's put the vegetables in there. Let's let this simmer real quick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let's build the meal from the ground up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have to come to an understanding about why certain things require boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it comes to the point of where you feel like if you say something, you'll get canceled because it's true. Because there's people you can't talk about, and if you do, you can lose your entire livelihood. You can lose everything because of that.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown you they're going to do it. The funny thing is that people are trying to come out against, whoever you think the higher power of the United States is. They're trying to come out and tell y'all what's going on. And then they literally, despite the motherfucker saying the shit, they'll still get called crazy. And then they'll still take his bank account and take his shit. And and then take his sponsorships. Like Balenciaga and Adidas gonna drop Kanye, and then they put out that fucking
that child thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to not get your channel taken, so I'm trying to think.
I'm not gonna lie to you. A part of me kind of wants it. I'm kind of begging for it a little bit, only because I do plan on making a Rumble account, and I'll just go there.
Yeah, I'm going on Rumble too. Yeah, bro, they gotta be on everything.
I gotta be on it. I don't have a Rumble account, but I'm about to.
Like people should still do YouTube if they feel like it, but it's not the way. Like this shit's gonna come to. It's a meanings to an end.
Yeah, I'm still gonna post on YouTube till they take me down, but like I'm gonna post on Rumble simultaneously, and and then if YouTube's gonna fall one day, like I already know it. Like I have a feeling. I honestly think somewhere around 10 years, either not that it's gonna fall off the map of the earth, no, but it's not gonna be as big anymore. And I think Rumble or some other alternative is definitely gonna be big because, like, I'm sorry, just a basic marketing stance. Which one sounds better? Hey, post here, but you can only say certain things that we like, or post here and you can post even things that we disagree with or things that we don't like. Which one are you going to post that? And so from that basic marketing point, Rumble, I think, is going to take a win unless YouTube decides like, hey, we're going to go back to the way we used to be and you just post whatever.
I was going to say,
except like porn and stuff like that.
Yeah, not facts, but I mean, that's what they do. Like, they're going to just try to compete. And they have a lot of leverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube is making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when that time comes, they'll make that move, which will be good for us. It's not going to be bad. Yeah. So. Damn, it's cold.
Oh, damn, I have lotions upstairs. Yeah, just because it's cold. But did you find the story real quick or no? Like,
my bad. So it was a, like, cartoon type thing. And it was... You want me to show it?
Yeah, real quick, so I can see it.
Here, you gotta hold it though.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, yeah. So that's what I said, bro. Can we talk about this? Yeah. Okay, so there's no more beating around the bush. We're just gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about transing of the kids. So, people who are for it, I highly recommend not only watching this episode, but please hit me up and then come on my show. I promise you this. I'm not gonna try to attack you. No, I just literally want to get your point of view, ask you some questions. I want you to ask me some questions. I want you to debate me. I'm not trying to debate you. I just want to know your point of view. That's all I'm gonna say. So, transing of the kids, I'm gonna start with this. Cale, what the fuck is going on, man? Because let me just say this. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm decent at best. But growing up, I realized this growing up, that everybody can have whatever opinions they want on just about anything, whether it's tattoos, drinking, drugs, what have you. But we all agreed on one thing: leave the kids out of it. Like 100%. No matter what it was leave the kids out of it. Now it's gotten to the point where it's like, no, or kids don't know any better. But kids can choose their own gender, and like, oh, I'm gonna be a good mother and good father, a good ally. I'm gonna support your son transitioning to be your daughter, which is impossible. I don't care. And or your daughter transitioning to be your son, impossible. Again, I say you, and then that's it. Like, I would like to hear your point of view on that.
Well, first, let me say, before I get into that I personally believe that people should have the freedom to make their own choices, so long as they're not hurting anybody physically or mentally. That's where I draw the line at anything, no matter what it is. And I'm aware that there is a culture war going on that the Republicans are trying to use to win the election, which is that this is they're combining a trans person and a pedophile and making them one thing. When damn, I can't say that. You gonna edit this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, I can't edit it.
Okay,
like, I hope not to, but like,
my bad. I'll say damn, what should we say? Damn. See, they're a sister that's bro. We can't even call it nothing. It don't make no damn sense. Whatever, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So pedos. We'll say pedos. But yeah, it don't matter your race. The honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was like one of the big leaders in Islam back in the day with Malcolm X, and he impregnated 9 underage girls.
Oh wow.
And that was the reason why they killed Malcolm. They told you the white man killed Malcolm when in reality. Ooh, boy, it's spicy. I'm gonna get some shit today. Boy, so that's why they killed him. My white man didn't kill Malcolm, bro. It was our own people.
No way.
I promise you.
Damn.
Because that's when Malcolm X took himself out of the Nation of Islam, and he didn't directly say what was going on, but he said that he was told by Elijah himself about that shit, and he went over and saw the girls, so he saw this, and then he dead later. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know like how after when he saw the girls?
How it wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
I don't remember it exactly, so I ain't gonna say.
But it wasn't long.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Damn.
So I just gave you 2 examples. I gave you a black example. I gave you a Christian example. I can give you plenty of Islamic examples. I can give you plenty of whatever you want. But it's not about one group doing that shit.
Yeah.
We all have to understand that no matter what your race, no matter what your religion, no matter what your beliefs, we have at least all of those little groups have 10% of people who are just straight monsters. They're devils, they're demons, bro, whatever you want to call them.
No, anybody who messes with kids like that, I agree, are demons, man.
But you see how this becomes a conflict and controversial because all they do is just set up the two sides. Because all the liberals are hearing is the Republican side of this shit. They're not hearing the people that are in between and don't fuck with none of y'all, the left or the right, that are saying, yo, that this is real though. Like there's Balenciaga showing you this is real. These artists are showing you that it's real. Jamie Lee Curtis, she just had did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Creepy ass picture. It was a dead child in a motherfucking
naked.
What was that? Like a plastic container? Like she was getting shipped or some shit. And then they want to call you crazy for believing the shit that they what they do with these kids.
Dude,
do I gotta say it?
No, okay.
Adrenochrome? Do I gotta say it?
No. I man, I love this. I don't want to stop this.
Good.
Dude, like there was a time where I wanted to be an actor. Like in high school, I was, acting.
I wanted to be a football player.
Yeah, I wanted to do all that, and then, man, I thank God every day that I didn't I quit. I was not ahead, but that I quit pursuing it, and I'm just trying to survive. Because man, I don't doubt that like something would have happened where I know for a fact, just me being me, I'm not just saying this. It's like, oh, it's easy to Monday night quarterback for me to be like, oh, if somebody tried to like offer me to be a part of some cult, it was like, hey, you want to mess with some little kids and stuff? It's like, no, like there's a comedian I just saw.
But once they tell you, do you think you have an option?
Huh?
But once they tell you, do you think you
no, that's a scary thing. Is like, because you hear that all the time. It's like you think people are gonna be open and admit that, and then like if you say no, that they're just gonna let you go. And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that there's some crazy shady shit. Again, like conspiracy shit.
You'll get away for the moment.
Oh man,
that don't mean you go get away forever.
You're right.
They pay. You gotta think about the people that are able to do this are funding everything that we live under. Everything that our water, our electricity, dude, they can fucking shut that shit down whenever they want to.
No, okay, like I think the moment I started kind of, or not like believing it head on, but like starting asking more questions than I normally did was definitely after Jeffrey Epstein, because before he killed himself, I don't think a lot I don't think a lot of people knew, like the common person knew the name Jeffrey Epstein. Like I know for me, I can only speak for me, that if before he killed himself, if you came up to me and was like, hey, did you hear about Jeffrey Epstein? My first question would have been, who's Jeffrey Epstein? Like, that's it. And then after this, and then like looking into like his life and what he owned, what he did, I don't doubt that there's big players in the game. Like, I don't doubt that now. I don't doubt that. I just don't know who. Just because you're a big player doesn't mean that you're automatically in shady shit. No, I'm not going to say that. But I wouldn't doubt it. If somebody tells me, hey, did you hear about this big CEO billionaire? I'd be like, what happened? It's like, oh, he was caught with child porn. I'd be like, not surprising.
Who runs the institutions?
Powerful
families.
Yes.
Doesn't matter the race of those families. Doesn't matter the religion of those families. It is powerful families that married other powerful families. And that other powerful family had another motherfucking, these umbrellas are just, it's like a real family tree. Yeah. And we're in the motherfucking, center of the earth and that shit.
Yeah. But going back to my question, I opened it with the transing of the kids, but, what do you think is going on? I have a theory, that I kind of base this off nothing, but I want to hear your opinion first. What do you, do you think,
look,
do you think there's, an end goal type shit? Do you think...
They're apparently discussing what the age limit should be to administer any type of gender affirmation transformation, whatever they call that shit.
Yeah.
So we don't know, but apparently, was that Minnesota? Somebody just passed a bill to where you can abort a baby up to birth.
Yeah.
Some state. I just forgot the state. I'm pretty sure it's Minnesota.
I want to say it's Minnesota.
It's Minnesota now. Okay. So, yeah.
Because New York had that, California had that,
and I don't know, that might have been a rumor, so I'm not going to speak on that. But just in terms of that, I mean, why? Because I be thinking past the people that are saying they want it, right? Because the people that saying they wanted it are two of the people that think that they were, able to make a decision like that when they were a kid. But they know they wouldn't want to do that. But gay people will come out and say, like, yo, this isn't right. There's plenty of gay people that say, no kids should be talking about no sexuality. I'm glad that nobody did this when I was a child, or this happened to me when I was a child, and this did not affect me correctly. They speak on it, but then they'll silence those voices. They silence the voices of the shit that goes against the narrative. Everybody's just supposed to be happy and rah and around, and everybody's supposed to love everybody, but it's like everything has boundaries. It's like black people, you can complain about whatever type of systematic shit you want to talk about, but you still cross boundaries. Like, you don't have no sense of camaraderie within your people to even be complaining about anything else going outside of what y'all can control. But it's all about what these individual people can control. But most individual people have no control.
Yeah.
So they want to control something.
That's the word. It's control that I think that if people is like, oh, what's the end goal? It's control. And I think it's not a overnight thing. It's a slowly gradual thing. Like, honestly, I picture it like cancer. Like, the moment you're diagnosed with cancer, it doesn't take you overnight. It's slow. If untreated, it slowly takes its toll. I think we're seeing something similar to that, because there was like, what I remember earlier, specifically of transing of the kids and all that stuff. There was a point I remember. There was a video, like a side-by-side video, where there was these protesters, I guess. They were like, speaking about trans right, and the I don't know what news affiliation they asked them, was like, oh, but isn't a slippery slope to the kids? And they were like, no, it's just adults. Like, if you're 18 and older, like, you should be able to transition and do whatever you want. Which, I'll be honest, I kind of do agree. Even though I think
21.
Honestly, I think 25, because that's when your frontal lobe is fully developed and your brain now, like, works at full capacity in a way.
But think about what hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
But think about what we're saying right now. We're able to find common ground with people who want to live their lives the way they want to live their lives.
Yeah.
How come you can only be on one side to do that?
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because I know you've heard this before, that whatever topic, like transing of the kids, for example, it's become oh, are you a Republican then if you're against transing of the... No, abortion, I'm just a decent human being. And it's like, oh, if this is how my mind works. It's a silly, cartoonish mind. I picture when we were kids playing kickball or football, you got two team captains, basically a Republican and a Democrat, and they're slowly picking issues, like Republican goes first. We take guns. Democrats, like, we take feelings. And then slowly and surely, Republicans, we take being patriotic. Democrat. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, just because, like, right now, like, I'm pro-gun. It sounds weird to even say the phrase pro-gun. It's just, like, it's just a tool.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and then the moment somebody says, like, oh, do you have a gun? It's like, yeah. And it's like, oh, then you're a Republican. No, it just means I'm a person, and I made a decision to, be able to protect myself and my family in case something bad happens, and it's my Second Amendment right, like my God-given right. No, I don't do that to anybody else. It's like, if somebody so-and-so, one of my closest family, she was telling me that she got the COVID vaccine, and I was like, all right, good on you, like, cool. But I didn't immediately peg her as a Democrat or anything, because it's just you were following the science that you thought, like, hey, this is going to protect you. So cool, you made a decision because you're an individual human being. Even if I disagree, whatever, you made that decision. That doesn't mean because of your political affiliation.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to the transing of the kids though, is that like right there, you said 21, right there. If you and I were like debating, right there, we already found common ground. Like at first I said 18, and then you said 21, and then I was like, oh, maybe 25. But right now we're negotiating.
Right.
But you and I both agree it should not be under 18. Like it should not be some 10-year-old, 5-year-old. Right there, we have common ground, and
but it's that power shit.
It is that power shit, and it is that control shit that I was talking about that scares me because, like, I have friends who disagree with me on big value shit, but I never ever once thought like, shut your mouth. Like, if I can control how you speak, I would. No, it's like, this is how we get closer. If anything, it's, oh, you disagree. Now, my first question is why? Like, I kind of want to dissect your brain. I want to know, figuratively, obviously. Like, I want to know how'd you led to this point of view. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're wrong. But let's talk about it. I don't want to shut down anybody talks. And that's the fear. That's the fear of control. Is people want to shut down people's speech because they know the truth and they're scared and they have to shut you down for control. So that's where I slowly started believing in conspiracy stuff, because I'm just like, dude, people with power will use power. And
it's like, what do people think they will do when they get it? And that's all they're begging for. They're begging for all this control and all this power, but they don't realize that when you get something, the law of equivalent exchange, you want to get something, you got to give something up. What are y'all willing to give up to get where y'all want?
But now people with power, they're like, oh, you want more power? And it's not, you have to give up a little bit of power. Now it's like, you have to stop other people from getting power if you want this power to remain.
Not necessarily even power. It's just something.
Just something.
Like,
you're right.
There's always something somebody want from you. So.
And especially when it comes to something as simple as money, unfortunately, there are some people out there in the world, a lot of people, where everybody has standards, everybody has principles. Unfortunately, there are some people where their principles cost money. So somebody who will say something silly, like for me, for example, just to make it a little bit light, is like, I will never stop eating a steak. Like, I'm gonna cook me a steak tonight. And if somebody goes like, DJ, I will pay you $500 million a year for you to give up eating steaks. Shit, I probably do it. And like, damn, in a silly way, it's like, oh shit, well, $500 million a year, all right, cool. But I'll eat chicken, I'll eat seafood or something. But like, but people,
but how would they be able to track you from to stop you from doing steak? Like, what are they allowed to do to stop you from eating steak? And what is the penalty if you do?
Yeah, exactly. So like, so taking that silly example,
no, it's a good example. I'm just saying, it's like,
yeah,
take that to real life.
But take that to real life,
and
people have standards. They have principles. Unfortunately, whether it's the government, private businesses, they've gotten to the point where now they are able either to buy people's principles and buys people's loyalty, or scare them out of it, to it.
Let them act like they're really freeing themselves when they're really enslaving themselves.
Yeah. That doesn't look good. Like I actually personally know somebody. I'm not gonna say the person's name. This person and I was talking, and this person said, they are scared about posting anything on social media, because this person believes, like, even though I'm a common person, I have like no security, nothing. See what they're doing to like big names people. If they're doing that to them, what hope do I have? And I'm like, that's kind of scary. But stubborn me is like, kind of like, man, I hope somebody comes for me. Like, I'm going down with a fight. Like,
but the thing is, bro.
I know. I'm being facetious when I say that.
No, bro. You gotta realize, you make your decisions.
Yeah.
The people that sign these big ass contracts, didn't know what they was getting themselves into.
Yeah, because once you start throwing money that they never seen before, it's like, hey, we'll pay you for this. And they're like, that's more than I've ever made at a restaurant, at whatever job. Like, I'd be dumb to say no.
Just think about it, bro. Like, they could set you up and hire a girl at your shit, have her seduce your ass, you fuck her, and then all of a sudden, like, they say, hey, you say, all of a sudden, yeah, I want to get out my contract. You know, this clause right here says I can get out of here, da-da-da-da. And then they say, well, we have you on camera in Sheila. So, unless you want to go to jail for, you got to break that out. But if you want to go to jail for SA, you're going to stay in this contract. You're going to do everything we tell you you're going to fucking do.
Yeah.
So if we tell you to go out there and bark like a dog on the street and shit on the street like a dog, you're going to do that. Because now they got that shit on you. But that's the floor of what they'll do.
Yeah.
To somebody. That's not even like that's not shit compared to what they do to most people.
Speaking of people, do you want to talk about the Andrew Tate thing?
Yeah, we can definitely talk about. Hey, damn, boy. Hey, look. I got a different take on that.
You do?
Yeah,
I
give
want to
me
hear
your
it.
take first, though. Give me your take.
What's that?
Give me your take first, because I don't know how much you know about Andrew Tate.
Yeah. I kind of like the guy. I definitely don't hate him. Like people, I don't hate
him.
I don't. Truth be told, I don't hate anybody, especially when it comes to celebrities and stuff. Like, I gotta know you. I gotta love you for me to hate you. Like, you gotta actually wrong me, not like my beliefs or whatever. You gotta wrong me in order for me to hate you. So I don't hate anybody. Andrew Tate, I can see myself being friends with the guy. All my friends who know me personally today are not perfect. I know, shocking. There are moments where my friends will say some stupid, outlandish shit where I'm like, listen, Jim, you're being a dumbass.
You could have said that a different way, bro.
Like, yeah, like, all right.
Because that's his only problem. Sorry, go ahead.
No. That's basically it. I literally have a friend where, like, I've said things like that where I'm like, Jim, listen, I agree with you, but, like, you can phrase it a little bit better. I'm not trying to censor you. I'm just like, you can phrase it a little bit better. Like, I think because you're so caught on your personality, you're doing more harm than good in a way, but like, you're not a bad person. Like, I mean, you're not perfect, but you're my buddy. I love you. So Andrew Tate, I will say this: the stuff that he says about, like, trying to encourage men, like, do these basic things, like try to work hard, get your money, be fit. I think those are good. Like, I think I picture like a general, a war general. I want somebody coaching me, being hard on me. That's what I want. I want Andrew Tate in my corner when it comes to motivating me, coaching me. I want that. When it comes to the girl stuff, that's where it splits. Sometimes he's right. Sometimes it's not that he's wrong. I would have just phrased it a little bit different. But he's not a misogynist. He's not an evil person. Now, the stuff that's happening right now, I don't know, like his arrest in Romania. I'm following it very closely because I am interested. I don't know. I don't have any evidence or anything. But all I'm going to say is this. If it turns out with evidence that he's guilty, I'm not surprised, and he's an idiot. But if it turns out that he was wronged and there's no evidence and all that stuff and he's innocent, this scares the shit out of me because he called it. He was like, first they're going to cancel me. Next, they're going to arrest me on some bullshit. And this is the second time they've arrested. The only difference is this is the first time that he's been held longer. The first time he was held overnight, I think. And it's just fucked up. But I don't what people want you to see about Andrew Tate, like the evil stuff. Like, immediately I think of, okay, what are the other stuff that you don't want to show me? And then I see that stuff and I'm like, And I started thinking for myself. And so overall, long way of saying, I think he's just like any other guy, like any other macho dude. He's just a dude. He has his opinions. He has his things. Sometimes he's right. Sometimes he's wrong. Guess what? Sometimes I'm wrong. And sometimes I'm right. I do believe in gender roles. I do believe men should do certain things and women should do certain things. 100%. Everybody else feels that way. I just have the balls to put it on video and record it.
Well, the one thing I was wondering about him when all this shit went down is that I fuck with Andrew because when it comes to me, and if I value your word or not, is if how much of what you're saying is correct. If you're shooting 100% for the field, I'm gonna keep you on the floor, type shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was shooting 100%, bro. Like he was hitting them shits. You know what I'm saying? He was hitting. Like, so I mean, I was it.
And I like a good success story. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, I don't hate that. Oh, why would I hate that? Because I'm trying to be that. That's why men love
everybody's
him,
trying
bro.
to be that.
Listen.
Yo, he was a skinny nerd kind of guy and all that stuff, playing chess, and then he got rejected by girls. And then what did he do? Did he just cry about it and get fat? No, he went and got fit, went into kickboxing, became a champion, made money. Like, that's a success story.
Everybody, get out of your echo chambers right now, bro. I know I'm making y'all niggas mad, but I need y'all to step out of y'all echo chambers and just sit at the table for a second and just hear me. This is why women they act like they don't like Andrew Tate because they're giving every dude the game.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't want every dude to have the game.
Mm-hmm.
Cause for so long they've been running the game. They running everything now.
Like there's this man, I don't know her name. She's big on YouTube and probably on Rumble. She said the only women Andrew Tate is exposing are women who look good, know that they look good, and know that that's the only thing that they offer is just that beauty. The women that aren't offended by Andrew Tate are like the high value women that aren't just pretty, are the ones that are smart, are the ones that are hustlers, are the ones that wants to be mothers and good for their men and all that stuff, and actually good for society.
A hustler in what way?
Like if you're a businesswoman, if you still have to hustle if you're trying to be,
You're
like
saying
a
that's
doctor.
what makes a high value woman?
Huh?
You're saying that's what makes a high value woman?
No, like a bunch of things adds to
No,
it.
I'm asking, does her being a businesswoman, you said a businesswoman?
Like a businesswoman,
Boss woman?
yeah.
Does that make her a high value woman?
No. Like, if we're to rank it, and you're trying to be a businesswoman, that's cool. But like, if you're trying to be a great mother, that's higher. But those two are still a hustle, and they're still a grind. But one's obviously higher than the other. But I'm gonna respect you if you're trying to be a businesswoman. If even if you're just trying to be like a doctor, an engineer, or whatever, or whatever. If you're trying to be good at that field, and you have this mindset like, if I'm good at this field, then like it'll open doors for me, and then if I want to have a family, I'm in a better position to financially support my family or what have you. I think that's good, instead of being like, I just want like everybody to take care of me type shit. Because I see women like that today. Like me personally, I have seen women who talk about like, oh, I don't need to work hard, like people buy me things.
But that's pretty privilege all up until you get old.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get old.
And I think those are the type of women that Andrew Tate's exposing.
And Kevin Samuels, R.I.P.
Who?
Kevin Samuels?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, oh boy. You got it.
Zach actually introduced me to him, and
I was so happy when Zach knew that. I was like, bro.
I was like, yo. and he told me that. Like, we were watching one of his videos. He was like, R.I.P. And I was like, he died? He was like, yeah. It's like,
bro, I was so shook, bro. I was at Popeyes.
When did he pass?
Man, it was like last summer, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was recent. I don't even know if it's been a year yet.
Yeah. How long you been following him?
I've been following him for a minute because personally, when I first started
so
watching
you got
him,
the news.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I wasn't like really like riding his nuts or no shit like that. But I just respected this dude because people don't realize that he was harder on the men at the beginning.
Yeah.
So like he lit a fire under me, and I was like, damn, bro, I gotta start taking care of myself. I gotta care how I look. Like if you're trying to sell a like everything, like he was giving game.
Yeah, he was
about everything.
There's this like 2-hour video where he talked about like men's hygiene and all that stuff.
That's
and
when
I do have good hygiene, and I felt super proud of myself because he was all like, man, y'all need to invest in some dude wipes, and I was like, yeah, I have them in my bathroom really right now.
Niggas really don't wash that.
But I will say I don't moisturize my face, which I need to. Like he did say like, man, y'all need to moisturize your face, and I'm like,
I got the exfoliator and everything.
Yeah, he talked about that. I don't do that. I need to, but when I saw that, I didn't get angry. I was like, he's right.
Because if you go out in the world and people like are looking at you a certain way, or they're not giving you the type of respect, or they're not, you ain't getting no looks from no females. That's on you, nigga. Like you're not doing enough. You gotta get some push-ups. You gotta wash your goddamn face, brush your damn teeth.
Yeah.
Like do the shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we all have flaws.
Yeah.
But just take care of what you got left.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get some shit taken away from you. Some niggas have just acne that is there, or females too. That's just bad. And they just can't, deal with that. But, we just got to deal with what we can deal with.
Yeah.
And make the best of it.
But like, what?
But yeah, going back.
No, you're good. But going with Andrew Tate, how do you feel about his arrest in Romania?
I mean, the only reason why they would extend their prison sentence right now is just because they're still trying to find evidence. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not no expert, but I'm pretty sure if they don't find no evidence, I mean, they can go to trial still. They're probably still going to go to trial. But if they don't got no evidence, they don't got a case. So, like, then what did you even arrest them on? On the grounds of what? What's crazy? Them niggas are powerful people, okay? And this is my take. I ain't got to my take yet, but this is my take. I think that nigga Andrew, bro, this shit not real, bro. I'm just guessing. I think that he set that shit up.
He's what?
I think he set that shit up.
Really?
Yes. You watch Death Note? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Don't act like Light didn't sit in that jail for 3 months just to prove a point so he could win that motherfucker. Man, come on.
I don't know.
Come
like,
on, bro.
hey,
Y'all
listen,
niggas need to watch more anime, bro.
I watched Death Note.
I gotta watch more anime. You gotta dissect Death Note.
I'm watching the new Trigun right now.
I didn't realize how much of a scumbag Light was until watching it like 20 times through. I loved Light.
What? I knew moment one. I'm like, this dude's a. But that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
There's not that many shows where like you're actually not supposed to root for the main person.
Yeah.
And like obviously, like it's just natural for you to watch a show and you want to root for the main person. There are 2 shows in my history where I actively rooted against the main character, and that is Death Note and Breaking Bad. I was like, screw the main character, and I'm like supporting the supporting cast.
I don't know. You can't enjoy it like that, bro.
No, it makes me enjoy it more. It makes me enjoy it more.
I can't watch the end no more. I'm like, it don't matter how I feel about that. I can't watch that. That shit happened. He just went out bad. Only because he is trusting other motherfuckers.
The thing that I hate about Death Note, not like a flaw to the show, just like the universe. I'm like, bro, your dad stuck up for you. And
that was sick.
And you fucked up. You fucked your dad. Like what? Made me so uncomfortable, man. I was like,
we need to do a whole anime podcast as it's. I'll
be down.
We need to make a whole nother entity and do that shit.
I'll be down.
Because we could go all day.
100%.
But yeah, let's go back to my nigga Andrew, bro. I think
you think he set this up? Listen, if you're right, man, like I'm gonna
if he gets out, he set it up.
If he gets out,
I think if he's not guilty, he set it up because he'll be the most powerful dude ever, bro. They can't do shit to him after that.
No. I hope he gets out.
They'd have to kill him, bro. They'd have to. That's the only way.
He talked about that. He was like, he has like 3 lives. He used up his one already. It's cancel, arrest, and kill. No, I hope he gets out. Like if he's innocent, I hope he gets out. If he's guilty, I hope he stays in. But if he's innocent, I hope he gets out. Dude, and I will be honest with you, it was somebody else. It was definitely Andrew Tate, Cale Rittenhouse, and like somebody else. I'm blanking. That I started to look into. We all hear the phrase "innocent until proven guilty." I never realized how powerful those words are. That like, but now how in today's day and age, especially in the Me Too era and all that stuff, was how it was guilty until proven innocent. And that's how I see Andrew right now. It's like I hope he's innocent. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't know him personally. But if he's innocent, I hope he gets out. And then if he gets out, I don't think if he set the thing up and he played it 4D chess style, because then I wouldn't be surprised because he's really good at chess.
He's not an idiot.
He's not.
Why would he be saying all this shit on camera if it was a crime? Yeah. You think he doesn't know the laws over there in Romania?
No. I think I don't doubt he is smart. Yes, I'm not denying that.
No, I know you're not, but I'm saying for the people that think they don't know him, they don't know that this nigga actually knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know who people expect to be smart nowadays, but most of them are on trial for lying. So you got to start kind of going different ways with who you start to believe. Let them show you the evidence, show you the statistics. This is all we can go off of.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why not? Like, what do they got? You found the same data, okay? Then you can work with that. But people, they don't want to work with that shit. They don't care about stats. So like, I know you brought your stats or whatever, but it's like, motherfucker, like, what else are we supposed to be going off of?
Yeah.
To know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
But
man, I will say, if he did, like, if he did plan it, let's say, like, okay, fast forward in the future, he gets out, he did plan it, like, we got the evidence, like, he did plan it. I wonder if that's a good move, though. Like, I don't know, like.
I think it's a great move.
I don't know.
He could damn near run for president if he does that. If he pulls that shit off.
I'll vote for anybody at this point.
Because it's a popularity contest, bro.
But like, I don't know, because like I'm like thinking, like, if you did plan this, like,
what does he stand to gain?
Yeah, but not that wouldn't that hurt you though? Like, if it came out.
That he's not guilty, but he was accused of something, and then all the girls that said that he didn't do it were actually right, and everything that he was saying was actually right. They would have no control over that man.
Wait. Sorry. I guess I misunderstood you. I thought you said that he planned, that he planned to get arrested like that day or whatever.
Well,
he just knew he was going to get arrested at one point. I don't think he planned.
Either way, I think he was asking to get arrested.
Yeah.
He was ready to get arrested.
Yeah. Never mind.
He was going on a sweep of podcasts, bro.
Yeah, like, no. I agree with you. I take back what I said. Never mind. I thought you said that he planned on getting arrested basically that day. Like, he went there and he planned on getting arrested like that day. Never mind. I take that back.
He's probably been trying to.
No, because he called it. He already called it. He said, I think it was on Zuby's podcast, or Fresh and Fit. It was either Fresh and Fit or Zuby's podcast.
Zuby's was one of them.
Was one of them. That he talked about it. I love Zuby. Yeah. Where he talked about it, he literally said way before this was planned. The first time he got canceled, that's when he said it. I believe it was on Zuby's podcast, where he said, I have everybody in the world, men and women, have 3 lives. Your first life is getting canceled. The second life is getting arrested. The third life, they have to kill you. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with that, especially in today's day and age with media and all that stuff. I do agree with that. Like, everybody has 3 lives. I still have my 3 lives. And
I'm working on my goddamn third one. But I'm keep going. You
okay. You want a drink? I'll get you a rock glass here. Oh, okay. You're the guest. I'm the host.
Pull it up.
That's my rule. I don't let my guests drink alone.
That's what I'm talking about. It's just cold, bro. I gotta warm my body up. My hands are freezing.
You want ice or no?
Nah, I'm straight up that motherfucker, bro.
What would you like? My buddy Gavin got me into this. I love these bottles just for this sound, like ASMR. Wait, you were rolling hair. I gotta do it again.
These goddamn rubbing hands. This would be the commercial break.
I love that. Yeah. Sponsor me.
Play get some live music. Bro, I'm telling you, man, once I get a panel, my shit gonna be crazy. We'll talk about that. I ain't saying that. You're not saying I can't be giving too many ideas. No, I don't care. I'll give free game when I get it. I ain't taking
your shit.
No, not you. I'm talking about everybody else.
Oh, I was about to say.
This niggas got money.
I was about to say, I ain't taking your shit.
No, I'm playing. I don't believe in that, bro. I think it's good to give out free game, bro. Cause you shouldn't care about the money, bro. You should care about the people that are willing to follow you.
Cheers, man.
Oh yes.
Thank you for being on my show, man.
Of course. Any day. Damn, I didn't mean to do that in the mic. Sorry, folks.
What happened?
I smacked my lips. Yeah, boy. Yeah. This gonna be a banger, bro.
No, it is.
Get some clips of this one.
Yeah, no, I I'm with like I will say this when it comes to like content, and if I haven't already made it public, I did have a friend reach out. Like I had her on the show, and then she was inspired, and she was like, "Oh, you know, I kind of want to make a podcast, but like I don't want to do it by myself. Would you co-host with me?" I
if
think
she's not willing to do it by herself, then she's not willing to do it.
yeah, and
because
so,
this shit is hard.
It is
and
hard.
You have to be willing to do it yourself first.
You do, yeah. I will be honest. I try to do it by myself. I can't, but I'm gonna probably revisit it. But doing this, like you and me, I love this. Like this is my bread and butter because I'm not fake. Like this is where I shine. I'm an extrovert. I love meeting new people. I love to converse. Mm-hmm. Doing it by myself it can be fun. I'm still a rookie at it, and maybe one day I'll revisit the idea. But I do agree. Like you should be able to try to do it by yourself. I did it by myself for the first 3 episodes, and then that's when I realized, okay, I do suck at this. I need work, but let me bring in people so I can still get the ball rolling.
Right.
But
it is good to have somebody though, like have a team. Like my cousin is like that for me.
100%. Yeah. I do enjoy podcasts more where there's like at least 2 or more people. Like I love Joe Rogan's podcast. Like I'll follow him to the ends of the earth.
You know what's crazy? I love Joe, but I don't watch his podcast.
Yeah. I don't watch
really boring.
I don't watch all of it. Like that's the thing. It's like
when he has like Hotep Jesus on there, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
He has like Kanye on there. Yay, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like it's good clips.
Yeah.
But the whole 3 hours, just not for me.
Yeah.
But I'll support that shit now because I fuck with, you know what I'm saying. But I still won't hate. I still won't find something to hate and then just like bash them. Yeah. I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and that's what I hope, you know, my podcast to be is like what I try to do is like I say this, hi mom. My mom is my biggest fan. She watches like almost all my episodes. I try to write a description of what we talk about. Not everybody's going to be into every single topic. Mm-hmm. So I write a description. I'm going to start doing YouTube shorts and clips and stuff like that. Yeah, I was going to
say, like, and you got to put, like, what you're talking in your titles. Because people, like, they're searching up these keywords and shit.
Yeah.
To be entertained.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you got people's names. It's like, well, they're not looking for these people's names, but they're looking for these topics.
They're looking for the topics.
Like if we put trans kids, Andrew Tate, and whatever we about to talk about, like that shit gonna at least gotta be 100. Goddamn it.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, like I am gonna start dipping into that. But one thing I won't do is I don't want to co-host another podcast. I like this where I'm independent. This is my podcast, but I don't have an agenda. I don't have like a lot of rules. My only rules is like housekeeping rules type shit. But like nothing's off the table. Like as far as like topics, like I'll talk about anything. Like I said, I don't believe in controversy. I'll talk about anything. And but like I don't want to run another podcast, but I'll definitely 100%. My answer is always yes. We just have to set up a time. It's like, hey, will you be on my podcast? 100,000%. Will you be on it 5 times in a row? You got it. Like hell yeah. Like I have no problem with that. I just don't want to manage another one because like I'm only a one-man army here and it's already tough.
Yeah, but if you just had to show up.
Oh yeah, if I had to show up and be myself, yeah.
Because yeah, it's all about building a following.
Yeah,
like people have to network,
and, like, and I'll help out anybody. Together, like if my show blows up and I start to have followings and stuff, and then like say all of a sudden you started a show and you were like, hey, you know, like I kind of want some of your audience like to like see me. I'll be like, yeah, because I don't believe in that whole notion like, oh, let me try to bring in somebody with a bunch of followers so I can get exposure. I just want to talk to the individual. Like when I see you, I see Cale. I don't see your followers. I see you. I'm talking to you. If 1,000 people watch, cool. If 100 people watch, cool. If 5 people watch, cool. But like, I'm not after your audience. I'm after you. I want to talk to you.
Right. But when everybody's coming to your show, then
yeah, and
you have these big numbers of following, and people are like, "Yo, come on the show." Are you gonna be like, "Well, my views are worth something," so you gonna have something for me? Like you know, and that's kind of courtesy. Like if you're bringing somebody with that really high numbers, you should expect to pay them. Yeah. By the hour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's worth it. It's an investment. Yeah. It's the same thing. But these people are paying this money. Like there's hella podcasts that blow up for bringing on Tyreek Hill or somebody for like I don't know how much they be giving them. Yeah. Like maybe 10. I don't know. Like what is somebody willing to come do for a podcast for an hour? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Or show, whatever you're doing.
I hope to never have to. This is what I've said. This is my dream. This is how I know my podcast made it. Is that I can start flying people in instead of doing like Zoom stuff. Like I'll tackle Zoom one day, do a Zoom podcast, but being in person, I think it's better. And I know my podcast made it when like I can pay, like say you're in Texas and I'm like, hey Cale, like would you be on my show? And you're like, if you could get me a plane ticket, I'd be like, if I got you a plane ticket and a hotel, will you be on my show? And it's like, yeah, then I get it. That's how I know I made it.
Yeah, that's true too. I'll give you that. Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A hotel and a plane ticket.
Yeah,
nigga?
it's like I'll buy you a plane ticket. I'll pay for your stay. Come be on my show. Like I think that's enough. If somebody goes like, you have to get my plane ticket, hotel, and you have to pay me, I'm gonna be like, you know,
then I really gotta be rolling, or you gotta be a big guest.
Like, yeah, but even then, I'm a firm believer. It's like, nah, I can find somebody else.
Did you see Andrew on Just Pearly Things podcast?
Yeah,
that she said he just flew out. He flew out there. She flew out.
She offered, and he said,
and he just flew out.
Yeah,
like I think he paid for. I don't remember, but I think she paid for Britney and shit. But at the same time, I'm like, that's fine. But just because he knows like she's about to hit 1 million, and that's people that need to, you know, be on his side when shit hit the fan. That's all he was doing, making those rounds. He was just like, I just need to get my voice out there before I go under.
I 100% agree, and I hope to, in a way, be in that position, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. Even if somebody's rolling in money, I was like, no, because I care about the conversation more than money. I just
me too.
Yeah, I care about just because at the end of the day, we're hanging out. We have a message, we have our opinions and all that stuff. We're not saying we're right. We have voices, but like first and foremost, it has to feel like a hangout. Because even if this episode specifically blows up, but you go home and you tell all your friends like that I wasn't making you comfortable, then I failed. Because at the end of the day, I care about being a good host. That means a lot to me, whether it's a podcast or when I throw like a mini get together or a party. If people say DJ wasn't a good host, I failed. And that means a lot to me. So I strive for that. I don't care about views. I care about comfortability, because I believe if you're a good host, if you can make your guests comfortable, everything else falls into place. Everything becomes a bonus. And yeah, like if this is uncomfortable, then like it's just not fun.
Right.
So it has to be fun. Like that's why I wrote, you gotta have fun. Like that's why I want to invite people who disagree with me, but not for like a yelling match. We gotta have fun. Like we gotta find common ground. We gotta talk about it. We gotta rationalize our positions. I don't want drama. There's plenty of that. I'm not gonna support that. You can find it. I just want to talk. I want to have fun. That's it. Like I don't think I'm asking for a lot. But yeah.
I agree. I'm with you there.
Did you ever see the documentary What Is a Woman?
I seen parts of it.
Man, dude, like that documentary, like it's so powerful. I support Matt Walsh. I love him. I follow him, and again, it goes back to control. It ties in with Andrew Tate. Do you follow Jordan Peterson?
I feel like he's controlled opposition personally.
Really?
I listen to him, but I won't seek him out because I feel he's controlled opposition.
Oh, really? Damn. Why that?
Didn't he just sign one of those big old contracts that Steven Crowder turned down?
I mean, like, so are you following that? Like
I'm following everything, dude.
Okay.
I mean, clearly they ain't shit we don't know about. Bro.
Okay,
like,
okay.
So,
Because I follow both Steven Crowder and the Daily Wire.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them both. I'm not taking sides, but I do.
I would murk Steven Crowder in the debate. But go ahead.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I would love to see that.
But yeah, go ahead.
Like I respect them both. They're not without their flaws, but I do believe that Steven is. I think he did misinterpret some things, but he's about to be on Tim Pool's podcast tonight at 8. I'm gonna try to catch that later.
Steven is?
Yeah.
Okay. He just had Candace on. That's interesting.
Yeah, he had Candace on. But they already booked the Steven's flight like before the Candace. So like and then Candace didn't know about any of it, and then this shit just blew up. It's funny how my small podcast was talking about another podcast, but no, I'm looking forward to that. My thing about the big contract though is that I'm not I'm not taking sides. I respect both of them, but I do believe Steven is misinterpreting things, because Tim with Candace, he talked about how Daily Wire reached out to him and they tried to sign him, and Tim they were trying to work it out, but at the end of the day they couldn't work it out, and Tim did his thing. The Daily Wire still doing their thing, and they're good, no bad blood. But I don't understand why Steven is like kind of attacking. Like, you can reject a contract. There was a non-binding just to talk. Why attack though?
All he's doing is setting up the narrative for his own thing.
Yeah.
Steven Crowder's Daily Wire. That's what he's doing. But you gotta go off of something. You gotta stir it up. That's all the media do, bro. Like, he's not special. Like, he's the same. Once you're in that motherfucker, I'm telling you, once you start getting that big money, bro, and people start taking care of you, you start seeing that, damn, I can do this. So then you don't care about you taking advantage of other people just like they're taking advantage of your stupid ass. So, like, he's just a greedy nigga. Like, he's just a greedy motherfucker, bro. That he's just another one of those greedy people. But he might have a good little show, like, because people tune in to see what he says because he's willing to say the uncomfortable truths, even though he's ignorant in other subjects.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? But he sticks to what he knows. Shout out High School Musical. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that nigga, like, you got to stick to what you know.
Yeah.
But then when you got something that you're not really in tune with, like that subject, you need to back the fuck off and just don't speak on it. Like, when he went on Joe Rogan, he got blitzed with questions, and that doesn't make sense. How can you say that but you're saying this? But that's what happens when you don't talk to people and you stay in your echo chambers. Republican or fucking liberal, conservative, all them motherfuckers, they stay in their corners for so long and they don't hear the other side of what just normal everyday people think about everything. Because most people agree with you and me. There's just a silent minority that is screaming out loud that everybody can hear, that can take your whole livelihood away from you.
I agree. 100%. Especially, and this is what I say, and I say this, like, with benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll be honest, like, like, there are things I just don't know. I'm not that big, like, but I don't see why, like, you have money. Why don't, if you fear for your safety, because that's the number one thing these people try to bring up is like, oh, I get a lot of death threats and all that stuff, which valid, I get, and you got kids, you got a family, I get it, but, like, why not rent a space, hire security, and then start inviting, people of the opposition?
How you can trust your security? Everybody has a price, bro. You could be making $300,000 to protect a motherfucker that can pay you that every year or whatever, every month maybe. But if somebody comes to you in the back, hey, I got $10 million for you, and I'm gonna fly you out to motherfucking the Philippines, and you're gonna stay out there, but I'm sending you with 10 million, 150 million. Go inject this nigga in his sleep. I mean, crazy, right? Crazy.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but, like, I like
but
to. But
people got a price, and that's the thing. People, y'all gotta realize, everybody is willing to do something for amount of money. It's proven. Go out and look in the world.
And it's not even like an astronomical amount too. It's whatever, like, oh, this pays my rent for 2 months.
Exactly. But people aren't thinking about, because they don't care about children or having their own children, so they're not thinking, damn, what's it gonna look like when my child sees this? What I want my child to see when he watches me is, damn, my daddy knew what he was talking about. Damn, my daddy know how to cite his sources. Damn, my daddy knew how to whatever. He knew how to set up the audio and video. He knows how to go out and communicate with people. But people instead want to be like, oh, well, hopefully my kids won't care. But we were kids. And we know if one of our mamas was getting her back blown out on X videos, you're getting flamed. You're getting flamed. Stop playing. Like, bro, we were kids.
You hear about Jim's mom in school?
We were kids. Boy. They would be putting the video up and walking in the hallway with it.
The school announcement.
And it's about to be that for a lot
Jim
of
is your mom.
It's about to be that for a lot of kids. but they don't care.
Damn.
Or they're so self-centered and individualism, like that individualism is going on nowadays where only people care about themselves and not about what's outside of them.
Yeah.
Because people are so selfish. And that's why people don't want to live. And everybody's like, oh, I want to kill myself. I want to die. And they want to put that shit out in the universe. But that's your fucking life. That's how you see life.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, if somebody stuck a gun in your cavity and said, yo, to give me a reason to not pull this trigger, you're going to cry and bawl your eyes out and beg for your life. So a lot of people need to stop playing with that shit because people are dropping dead every day. Mm-hmm. So if you playing with powers y'all have no idea about, and y'all saying this shit in the universe when all you can do is just be like, man, I'm just not going to live this life. I'm just not going to be doing something that's just about money or materials, and I'm going to do something about family or my children.
Yeah. Leaving a legacy behind. I will be honest, when COVID first happened, that's one thing I realized. I was living kind of comfortable before COVID. I was just, surviving every day. I didn't really think about the future. But then COVID happened, and it started making me looking back into my legacy and realize, man, I don't have any. If I were to die right now, if this disease is as deadly as, people are assuming it to be, what am I leaving behind? Like nothing. And I was like, I'm not married. I don't have kids. Like, and even if I did, like, I don't have anything financially for them, to like kind of be okay with. I was like, damn, I'm nobody. Like, I really felt that way. And like, yeah, my parents be sad, like my friends and family be sad, but like, I'm not leaving behind anything. And I was like, dude, I gotta change it up.
But look, we gotta realize that we were supposed to start with something. Mm-hmm. How the fuck are we growing up in the suburbs, but ain't inheriting shit?
No, and that's when I started respecting some. Like I watch UFC. A lot of these fighters, and Rogan talked about this, and I already knew this too. It's like some of the best fighters, they don't come from like my background. They come from harsh backgrounds because that's what makes the toughest fighters.
Unless their father was a fighter, and
yeah,
that would be the only way.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, like there's those small where a suburb kid was just around a fight camp and grew up with that. But like most of the other fighters, they come from harsh backgrounds, and that's what makes tough people. Hard times make hard men, and hard men create easy times, and that whole vicious cycle. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, I'm basically going through my equivalent of a hard time, and hopefully this is making me into a hard man, and hopefully I can create an easy time for my kids, but still create it where like pass down knowledge of like, I don't want you to go through something hard, but I want you to have the knowledge of what hard is, so you don't take it for granted. But yeah, like I mean, you hit the nail on the head right there. That people are just getting really comfortable, and when faced with a dark scenario like that,
they wouldn't know what to do.
They wouldn't know what to do,
and that's why I say people need to watch anime, bro. Because you say it's just a crazy scenario, but y'all aren't watching these shows. Because if we had giant humanoid ass monsters walking around eating people, and we had to worry about survival that way, you wouldn't be talking about your fucking identity. You'd be worrying about not getting your fucking skull chewed fucking. But, that's just a crazy fucking fantasy world. Whatever.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself there and be like, bro, I'm just blessed to be here, bro. I don't have to be proving shit to nobody. Like, I'm just blessed to be alive. Mm-hmm. Like, when people ask me, bro, how you been, bro? Blessed and highly favored. I don't say nothing else. I've always been good, but we always go through bad things. Mm-hmm. Like, I ain't doing better than the next motherfucker. Just the average dude.
No, I think you sell yourself a little too short there, because I think you should, in a way, like you're super humble. Don't get me wrong, but I think you should take pride in the fact that it's like, I am doing better than some guy who's choosing. We talked about decisions. Who's choosing to sit on his ass and not do anything all day.
Yeah,
like you are definitely doing better than that guy. And then you are being better than the guy who may be hustling but is being super dishonest, because you are hustling but you're using being honest. You're not. Your name means a lot to you, and I'm willing to bet you're the same as me, where like people can say shit about you, whatever. But one thing that you kind of take personally is somebody calls you a liar.
Absolutely,
dude. Man, let me tell you a funny story, a short story. Growing up, like just being around friends, like middle school, high school, like it's whatever. Like if like somebody would like call me a liar, and I'd be like whatever and all that stuff. I never took it personally because I didn't care. But then when I got older, like around like 26, 27, I realized how powerful your name really is, and your reputation, and like what an insult it is. Like somebody can call me a bitch, somebody can call me whatever bad word, whatever. Like, yeah, it still pisses me off that you said that, but being called a liar hurts way worse than anything. It's like, well, you can call me whatever you want, you do not call me a liar. My name means a lot. I have a reputation on my name. Like, I am not a liar. Like, I build trust with people. I build comfortability with people. You're not going to throw my name on the dirt by calling me a liar. And so I will say I do take pride in that, and it starts to make me look at other things where, listen, I'm not better than a lot of people, but I am better than certain people only because of the decisions they make and the decisions I make. Like,
purely, honestly, because it literally is only about their decisions to not do anything.
Yeah,
because it's not like they can't get to where we at. They can't get to the
I'm
point
not special.
Of intellectual. Yeah, exactly, bro. There's nothing. We are not special. Bro. We are all just individuals that choose to do more or less.
Yeah, I have wonderful friends and family, and I know they mean well, and I take it with grace when they go like, oh, DJ, you're a special person. Like, I know they mean well, so I never snap at them, but like I try to tell them in a nice way, like, hey, I appreciate that, but don't ever call me special. Because if you call me special, if I succeed in life, people are going to be like, well, I can't do it because he did it because he was special. No, I'm not. I'm not a special person. I'm an average person. I'm just an average person who decided to do not average things, make not average decisions to hopefully get where I'm at in life. And that's it. Like, I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm not dumber than anybody. I'm just an average person who makes certain decisions to hopefully impact like my community. I don't think about the world because I think that's just
impact your world.
I want to impact
the world
my
around
world.
You.
Exactly. Yeah. And then what ends up happening is my world starts to grow a little bit bigger because I start to meet more people.
That's how the universe was formed, bro. And that's people want to act like this shit's complicated.
Yeah.
To figure out where we came from.
I wouldn't even say complicated. I would say I do think people are being selfish. I do think, especially with social media, like I can go on and on. I think we are going through a sociopathic, narcissistic time where especially with TikTok, whatever have you, where people care about followers, people care about like being the next influencers, people just care about strangers' approval and stuff like. And I'm like, why don't you care about your community and all that stuff? Because I'm willing to bet those people don't have like 5 close friends.
They're not willing to change the things that they so-called are oppressed or they actually care about.
Yeah,
they're not willing to do anything to change it.
No,
because they're not willing to look within them and everybody else.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just, like, everything is within you. Like we just talking about, because I was talking about creation when it comes to, just how we got here. In general, why we even exist. Because it's like, what are we? How did we get here? Nigga, we weren't just plopped or a nigga snapped his fingers. If you just said, and we just made the analogy that you want to control and have your world, you want to change your world around you. Mm-hmm. And have that be the most positive as possible. But your world gets bigger the more people and more connections you know. Those are other people's worlds. Then you can have a universe. Mm-hmm. You're creating your own universe. Does that sound crazy?
No.
Like, is that too overcomplicated?
No.
Because people that are religious will say that's bullshit though. Because they're like, well, that disproves,
and I agree with that.
Yeah, but you're able to be objective.
Yeah.
People are thinking subjectively when it comes to stuff like that. And then religious people be the first motherfuckers to jump on people in the LGBT community, but y'all do fucked up shit and y'all don't take accountability either. Y'all don't hold y'all people accountable, and why are you expecting them to? Mm-hmm. We got to be balanced on both sides.
You're 100% right. You do have to call out the bad people in your And the thing that I don't know, like I have a question about is like, why is it so hard in one community, but it's not outrageous in another thing? Like,
because everybody's trying to protect their own beliefs and principles.
But what's weird, like think of it like this: if you owned a restaurant, like just a simple restaurant, mm-hmm. and you clearly saw one of your employees being bad to like a customer, no one would not hesitate but throw that employee, fire him, and be like, you're in the wrong.
In what way? Because folks be going off of what you tell. Listen, there's some leaders. I got you. Hold that thought real quick. But there's some people that think they're leaders, but when it comes down to it, the people that are thinking, well, maybe I'll keep this job just by emulating my boss, are just doing what their boss doing. Mm-hmm. So if their boss is handling a certain situation behind the customers a certain way that they see, then they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna just do that because that's how my boss acts.
Okay.
But then if he don't see how the boss act around the customers, then he's just gonna assume, well, he's just gonna act how he normally acts. You know, but there are people like that, but that's an exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
So
like with this simple scenario, like just like like in this case where like no backstory, nothing, like I'm not about to like insert a backstory, where you clearly see that 100%, no doubt, nothing, the employee was in the wrong and it's being bad to the customer.
Okay.
You would clean house. You would be like, okay, I need to fire this employee, have a meeting and be like, hey, we're not like that.
But then you'd have to pay more to bring another one in. I feel you. Yeah. I'm just saying. No, I know. There's a different level to this.
No, but it's going to make sense.
I got you. My bad.
But no, you're right. It's like you would fire that employee. You would have a meeting. We don't behave that way. Like we're better than that, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense in a business standpoint, and you're right. And like I don't take offense to the religious community that you brought up, because like if anything, I'm more. Yes, we need to hold our people to a standard, because even though like I recently basically found my faith, and like I already knew like some of the shady history that goes into it and all that stuff, and not getting too deep into the weeds there, it's like I understand that, and that's what makes me appreciate it a little bit more, is like we got to hold the bad accountable. But for some weird reason, I do see that in religious community specifically, where somebody like the bad employee would be bad, but the leaders won't do shit. And it's like, dude, if all you have to do is simple, is get rid of that one employee, have a meeting. We're not like that. Yes, you would lose some people statistically, but people would respect.
But also, how did he even get brought onto the job if you ain't teach him how to talk to a motherfucking customer?
Yeah, true. Like there are a lot of factors,
but they do that shit.
But what I'm saying is, I've seen. Thankfully not my church so far, but I have seen where religious leaders will like, keep the basically bad employee type scenario where they're just, or won't say anything. And it's like, clean rank, clean house. It's okay. It's okay to put your foot down and be stern and be like, you're not to our standards.
Yeah. You can cuss them out in the back.
You're making us look bad.
Yeah, cuss them out.
Yeah. And that's what pisses me off. And it goes back to control. It goes back to protecting people's feelings. It's like sometimes the nicest thing you can do to somebody is say, you're not fit in our ranks. Get better and we'll talk, but you're not fit with us.
Nothing will get you more prepared for the real world than someone telling them you're not ready right now.
You're not ready right now.
That'll crush the common adult today.
That will.
I got told that shit at least 10 times. And from when I was 18 to now 24.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, like people don't grasp that. And it's a good segue to where we're going to talk about mistakes. But man, dude, like I challenge anybody listening at this point. Think of the time that. Let me say it this way. Sorry. There's this quote I'm going to live by, like, that I made. How many times I've said the phrase, I give up? Too many to count. How many times did I actually give up? 0. Because I've been told so many times, like, man, you're not fit for this. You suck at this. And then I'll be like, man, you know what? I give up. Whatever. You sucked at this test. Give up. You're not going to do well. All right. I give up. And I do give up for a little bit. Like, I'm like, I throw in the towel, but then I come back stronger. And I'm like, am I really going to let that beat me? And I make a mistake, and then I say, well, I made that mistake, therefore, like, I'm not fit to be that. But then you're dwelling a little bit, and then you look in the mirror, There's no evil white man. There's no government official. There's no spirit. There's nothing. The only person holding you back is that person you see in the mirror. It's you. That's who's holding you back. There are obstacles. There are entities, obstacles. But the first line of defense, the first line of the person holding you back is you. Cross that, and then once you see other oppositions, look at them like a sports. You played football. You give them a handshake. Be like, I'm getting through you. I already got through me, and I'm the hardest motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You can't insult me the way I insulted myself.
Absolutely.
I passed me. You don't know what I went through. My evil side used the things I'm super insecure about that you have no idea about. I passed him, and now I'm about to pass you. And people need to realize, if you got over a little bit of the insecurity, a little bit of the mistake, that fear.
The fear of mistakes.
The
failing.
fear of mistake. You didn't even make the mistake.
Niggas didn't even start to make the mistake, bro. Like, bro. But it's hard. But it is hard. I feel people. Like, it's an insecurity. We're all insecure, but y'all gotta get over that shit. We're all
insecure, but like, man, like, listen, people. And you want to know who will stick around? People that see you trying and see you busting your ass and you're making a mistake, but you keep getting back up. You will find out who are the people that respect you the most, because they respect your grind, they respect your hustle, and they're like, man, this guy's getting after it. And like, in a business way, they're like, I want to invest in you.
Exactly.
But like, not in a cynical, like, oh, I want to invest in you so I can ride your coattail. No,
but that's just know you're worth something.
They know you're worth something. I will always invest in somebody. Like I said, like, I'm not a big star, and like, in a way, I hope never to be like a big star. Like, I don't want that ego. But even if my show blows up, I will always try to be a part of my friend's podcast or whatever shows, like, hey, can you appear and all that stuff, like, you're a big star. 100%. I don't see those numbers. I want to be with you. I want to hang out with you. But the only reason why I can hang out with you, the only reason why you see my success is because I saw my mistakes and I didn't let that beat me. Yes, it still scared me. I'm still human. I'm not flawless, close, not there yet, but I'm just kidding. But I make a mistake and it hurts, but I see it like a challenge. I'm like, you're a man.
Your muscles after a workout.
And you see that, it's like, is this really going to be the thing that beats me? Is that really going to be on my tombstone? Like, this is what killed him? Really? No, if somebody's going to take me out, it's going to be
it's going to be like awesome, extravagant shit.
And this is what you mentioned about anime and stuff. This is what anime does do. It's like, you picture this thing, like, you see these warriors that there's a fight scene. Like, I like, the one that just kind of popped into my head is I recently was watching Naruto Shippuden. Naruto's dad. Minato. Okay. Where he basically took down a whole army because he laid down his formula shuriken, and he was the lightning flash. I see that it's silly, and people turn off like, oh my god, he's talking about anime. But no, like, I see that as inspiration. It's like, yo, it took a demon fox, a huge ass demon fox, to kill him because he was trying to protect his wife and kid.
It wasn't that he was weaker than him.
It wasn't that he was weaker. He
just made a choice.
It took that beast, and he made a choice.
Because he could have fucking zoomed past and teleported, but he probably didn't have time.
I'm not going to let something small beat me. And if I can inspire anybody, and I'm not, like, I don't have success or anything, but I want people to hold me accountable, because I'm after it. I'm not after millions of dollars. I'm just after success. I'm after, when people look at me, they see somebody who didn't give up, and that's it. And I know you and I talked about this too. It's that mentality, and I know you have things in the works that I'm not gonna be the first to say. If you want to say, if you don't, that's cool. But like, I want to invest in you because I see myself, like, and it's not even a big thing. It's just like, I want to do something right there. I'm like, I want to be a part. I want to inspire whatever help you need. If it's something like, hey, can you bring me this cord? I know you have this cord. I'll bring that cord.
And you want to know what the best part about that mentality is? Because between you or me, if one of us makes it, then we all make it.
We all make it.
We all fucking make
That's it.
because we're not in this shit to just hoard all that money.
Yeah.
We know that people have skills, and it's like, well, I can pay you a little more with some health insurance, and
after that, it just becomes a
give you
negotiation. It's like, hey, what can I do? What can I bring to the table?
But you gotta trust people.
You gotta trust people.
You gotta find who's
respect
reliable,
people.
because a lot of people take advantage. Because once they get it, then they'll lose that fight.
Yeah.
So they have to go through some shit first. Even some of my closest friends I don't even know about. The only person I know about right now, I don't even know if they want their names on here. It's 3 of them. Yeah, but one for sure I know my cousin Devontae. And there's 2 other ones. Y'all know who y'all are. We already said it.
There.
But I mean, it's like, bro, those are people that see me at my lowest. I've seen them at their lowest. I've told them everything about me. They might not have said everything about themselves, but when it comes to stuff like that, like, that's just how I show love. You'll know everything about me, period. Mm-hmm. And the people that I've said I've loved you to, they know that. Because I don't hide shit from nobody I love, type shit. Like, if I tell you I love, you're in the clip. You're in. Type shit. Like, you'll get an I love you. It's like, nigga, where'd that come from? I was like, nigga, just be safe, love you. Some type
shit. Do you have to have it where, like, they have to say it first before you say it?
No, bro. Because they don't care. Because they can do me wrong after that. I'm going to still love them. I just won't forgive your decision to do that. Yeah. But I made the decision to love you. That's not on you. That's on me. And that's how it should be. Because that's how you don't hold resentment to people you loved. Because people have a hard time letting go of people they love. But they got to realize that if you can't let them go, then you become abusive. That's when shit becomes toxic, when you can't let somebody go. But, but you got to learn that. You got to get your heart broken and know some shit like that. A nigga that ain't got his heart broken ain't going to tell you some shit like that.
That's so true.
I'm going to take a bathroom break real quick.
Yeah.
I did that 100%. Whiskey went right through me. I don't know if you're going to do a hang in there, baby, with the cat.
Yeah, upstairs, and then straight down the hallway.
Oh. Sorry, I'm having to have you doing a lot of editing, bro.
Nah, I think just 2. The bathroom and then the first one.
Yeah.
Back.
It'll be funny. I think the beeps are funnier anyway, personally.
Yeah.
Depending on, like, if you can know what.
Well, I'd probably actually be able to cut the thing. Hopefully, if I can do it successfully. If I try to do a cut, if I can't do a cut, then I'll do a censor bleep. Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
All right, what else we got? What are we talking about?
What do you think people can do? Like right now, like if you were to if you were to meet like a young guy, our age, whatever, and he says like, okay, what can I do? I feel like maybe I am being taken advantage of, like social media. What can I do to not feel like I'm being controlled? What would you say to that guy?
You need to sit down in your room alone, get you a notebook, and say, what is it that, like what we went back to earlier, what is it that I'm trying to stay alive for? Write it down. It could be multiple things. It could be one thing. Don't overthink it. What comes up right there? If you had to think about it, probably don't write it down. It's probably not that important. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it just for him, and I would just say start controlling those things. Master everything you just wrote down. How can that make you better, and how can you maybe monetize that and let it make you some money? Then you can find some things that you can make money out of that you love, because there's plenty of ways to do that. Endless ways. I don't think there's a way you can anymore.
I know with the internet, man, like it's almost hard not to, in a way. Like if you're not I saw this video, I'm still working on it, but I was inspired where the guy talks about like you need to find a side hustle where the internet is working basically for you. Yeah. That's it. Like and whether it's like selling something like eBay, Amazon, whatever. But that's an example. That's not the only example. That's just an example. You need to have the internet basically work for you. It's a free employee that you don't have to pay. Like you might have to pay like a shipping fee, thing, but like it's that's
bigger than a pay. That's less than a paycheck.
That's less than a paycheck, my guy. That's less than a paycheck, my guy. You don't have to pay for the internet's health insurance and taxes and shit.
And that's why people we have to go this route now. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna have jobs where niggas can just do something easy like do some video editing. And they're having AI do everything now. Mm-hmm. Video editing and whatever you need.
Whatever. No, you're 100%
art
right.
too, and that's like, nigga, I just started painting and I see AI making art. I'm like, damn, nigga, missed the art, missed the point. Like, motherfucker. But you know that's happening.
It is happening,
and you don't hate. You just gotta adapt.
You just gotta adapt.
Because some people will just like a painted canvas, bro. Like, people don't like those painted sheets. I think that shit's kind of corny. Like posters, like people want something they can hang up and be like, that color just matches. I'm gonna do that like that. But that's that's what I'm going toward. Like, because people, you gotta realize who you're trying to sell to.
Yeah.
You know.
No, 100%. Yeah, because like with painting specifically, like I'm not just gonna, if it looks cool, if it's like my favorite character type shit, like I would want to buy it. But there is a relationship, like if I know the artist and all that stuff, and then he painted like one of my favorite characters, there's a relationship there. I want to buy it. I want to support him. There's definitely something there. But like at the same time,
it is that too, like, supporting people, because like I might not even be looking for no motherfucking canvas painting, but then I'm like, oh, you selling it and it's fuck, take my money.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like at the same time, I know, like I know there are gonna be people that I'm not like. Let me ask you this, because this just popped into my head. What do you define as a sellout?
A sellout is somebody who is willing to take a big or abundant amount of finance to do something that they would not normally do when it comes to their morals or self-beliefs.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we do agree on that. Like, and not that I was like looking for a disagreement.
I know. I was just saying it straight up, because when you ask somebody that, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's a great question. Yeah. I don't know though." I'm set in my boy.
Mine's along those branches, but like I 100% agree. My thing was selling out is when you simply said, I will never do X, and then you do X because of Y, because of a certain value, and it's always usually money. And yeah, so like if I said something like, oh, I will never ever go vegan or vegetarian, I'll never give up on meat, and then next week you see me advocating
Beyond
for
Meat gives you $1 million sponsor.
Go with Beyond Meat.
I used to not like vegan meat, and you know what's crazy, bro? I ain't vegan no more.
You used to be vegan?
Bro, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, man, I'm talking shit.
Look, a lot of people gonna see this and be like, oh, this nigga Cale sold out. Niggas will say that. Bro, nigga, that's crazy. Because people will literally go be like, bro, this nigga Cale sold out, bro. This nigga eating chicken again, bro. This nigga eating
I was ripping on you by accident.
And the thing is, bro, like, I don't see nothing wrong with being a vegan either. I think if you want to shed some flubber, bro, you need to eat some veggies, dude. Yeah. You need to get you some rice and beans in the refrigerator in the container. You need to eat that motherfucker for 2 weeks straight with green smoothies. I'm telling you.
Bro, I'm sorry.
You good. Go ahead. I'm telling you, that was a bombshell.
No.
I'm telling you, you're going to break the internet.
Bro, I'm sorry. I like to rip on vegans just for fun.
You go ahead, bro. I deserve it.
But I didn't know you were vegan.
Bro, I was vegan at fish time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, I was pescatarian at the end, I think. I was pescatarian, but I was vegan.
But I still didn't know that, because I don't think I've seen you eat.
Yeah, bro, I was vegan for 3 to 4 years. Like, I had them in the kitchen, like, hey, bro, let me get some of the mushrooms and get some bell peppers and throw that bitch
in the pan. I did not know that.
Alicia hooked me up though. Shout out Alicia, bro. She hooked me up with some goddamn tacos, some slaw, and some goddamn mushroom. But that was before I got in the kitchen. That was when I was expoing. Yeah, you weren't there at that time. Yeah, but yeah.
That's like. Now you're not vegan anymore, but like, was it easy for you, or was it like a grind?
It taught me discipline. Because I will say that's the one thing that I don't have now when I have more choices is, bro, when you can only eat a certain thing, and if it has dairy in it, you can't touch it, or pork or chicken or egg, you can't touch it. Or you gotta ask an animal, like, you gotta ask without it. But I mean, it taught me discipline. But I mean, just my physique, when I actually go hard working out, it's different. Like, it's more deformed, like, or formed, not deformed. Formed, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just that's more like the look I'm trying to get. I want that slim ass, like, ripped, but I gotta work hard for that shit. But like vegan, you got that skinny fat, when you're not consuming enough, because you'll think you are, but you're already like at a
super deficit,
like a motherfucker when it comes to certain things. And it was like that meat they was marketing like that was plant based. It's like them damn Krabby on Monday patties. You remember that from SpongeBob? And them shits had grays, and it was just nothing. That's what that shit is. Bro, people are still eating that shit. And they're like, oh, it's so good. But I'm like, bro, y'all eating plastic. Like, y'all eating some bullshit. I ain't gonna say what's in it. They ain't gonna sue me. But I'm just saying, like, that ain't natural.
Yeah.
We tried to make that. Me and my uncle is chefs, and we tried to make that shit for 3 months and couldn't figure out how to do that shit.
Chicken breast is one where I saw a picture of what a chicken breast looks like organically normal, and then I saw one on hormones.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, and now it really destroyed my views on it. So when I go to certain stores, I can tell which one, even if it says like, oh, no added hormones and stuff. It's like, but how is it this big?
But what do these words mean? What are these chemicals in here?
Yeah, like, exactly.
Glyphosate, chloroform, and shit like that. What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. And pesticides and shit like that. So it's like I started seeing it where I'm like, this one is one with no hormones and stuff, and this one it's like
grass fed and
stuff like grain fed and all that stuff.
Like raw butter. Cheeses.
Yeah, but like with chicken breast is the one where it's the most noticeable, and like I recommend people for looking this up. Don't just take my word for it, but I will say one of the big definite signs for chicken breast is size. So if you see two chicken breasts and one smaller than the other, it's not 100% definite, but the smaller one has a chance of not being hormones, and then the bigger one, yes. But like, yes, there's still a bunch of factors that goes into play, like how big the chicken was and all that stuff. If the chicken was basically fit type shit. But like, you do got to do a little bit of research. You just got to do just a little bit of research before you go grocery shopping. Just find out where it is, where they come from, and then that's it.
I mean, you got to do a lot, bro. If you're shopping in between the aisles, you got to do a lot of research.
Yeah,
that's a lot
I'm saying you do
shit.
the research before you go into, because like, okay, like something like, well, I don't want to name the store, but like, we know like some of the big box stores, they only take in a certain amount of items from certain farms. You can do research and find out about the farms. That's it. I did that, and then now I refuse to buy certain proteins from a certain big box store because I found out that their farm promotes it. It's like, yeah, we use hormones, it's whatever. We only use a little bit because it improves quality. It's like, all right, whatever. No, I'll just find somebody else who doesn't. You just got to do a little bit of research. I did like a 20-minute research, whatever. Yeah, and then that's it. And then it changed my mind. And
get
I was
your
like,
notebook, write it down. Then you have it. You
yeah.
Have to do it no more.
But man, but I didn't know. That's funny. I didn't know you went vegan. I was just talking shit. I like talking shit.
Bro,
to
yeah,
you, bro.
I don't mind it. I don't, bro. I like you said, bro. It takes a like, but you being out of line to be discipline. Yeah, just discipline. Going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, just taught me discipline, and that shit has been gone. Like I've been lost in that way. Yeah, like I haven't been like really found a way to stay disciplined. So I got to find another way. Like I can't just depend on one way to stay disciplined. I gotta find another avenue.
But obviously you're still fit. Like, are you a vegan now?
I'll just do it if I get some rolls coming in. Yeah. Like I just look at my body composition. If I see the muscles going up and I know how I'm eating, I just stay in a caloric deficit. Really. Yeah. I just don't eat sweets.
So basically, my question was like, so like you're not a vegan now, but like has that discipline, even though you're not a vegan right now, but you were for years, not just a weekend, years. Yep. Were you able to at least take that discipline and insert it somewhere else? You didn't lose that discipline.
It wasn't like I lost it a long time ago. It's just like now, because like I went from like living to an apartment, now I'm in my mom's again. So it's just like it's a different transition, and I'm trying to do everything at once. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, and it's not no knocking nobody, because majority of people living with their parents right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna make this shit happen regardless, because they're not even gonna be talking about where the fuck I was.
I wish I was with my parents right now. Like I realized,
and I will be with my cousin, but he's dealing with shit. So we're trying to move in and get a house, but that's just not the situation right now. I'm not gonna be fucking homeless.
Like I'm still in school. Like my new semester just started. And I'm like, it's my hardest semester, and I think about it every day. I'm like, fuck, I wish I lived with my parents, so like I can like
you could stack a little. I mean, I'm still paying rent and everything. Yeah, but like it's like not
help out my parents, but like focus more on school, because my parents, like, they support me and I love them to death, but they understand the grind. And like, especially like my mom, like, shout out to her, like, she's like, listen, if like we're in a family phone plan, and sometimes she's like, hey, if you can't pay this month's phone bill, that's fine, like, I'd rather you focus on your grind. And I'm like, no, I'll give you the phone bill.
And that's, I'm sorry, go
But
ahead.
it's little things like that where I'm like, man, I wish we were living together again, because like it would help. I see it now, like it would dramatically help, but I'm not about to like ask them like, hey, let me move back in. But well, because they live in Florida.
Yeah.
So like it'd be like a process for them to move back.
Yeah, some people don't have that luxury. Don't get me wrong. I'm blessed to have that.
But now, but like, this is what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. I remember back in the day, and when I have kids, I'm definitely going to, you know, try to raise them this way. Like back in the day, it was such a stigma, whether it was from Hollywood, from other friends at school, whatever, was like, oh, you shouldn't live with your parents by the age.
Go against your parents.
Go against your parents. Yeah,
go against.
And
I was
the thing
a victim of that shit
I'm Dominican. Like, we're very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like crazy. It's like they'll be like, why do you have to move out? You don't have to move out right now and all that stuff. So and you know, you think
you just want to be a man, and you think that's what the women want.
Yeah,
and it's like they don't give a fuck.
That's what I was about to say. Especially as a man, it's like, man, I want to get my own place. I want to invite a girl.
If they want to be with you, they gonna be with you, bro.
Stuff.
Like, they don't care about you staying with your motherfucker. You fucking whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And it was like things like that. It was like, oh man, I want my own place. I want my privacy. I want to invite girls. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like,
but then when you get it, you don't even do none of that shit.
Exactly.
Because you're so busy paying the motherfucking rent. Dude, you're so busy trying to do this shit.
That's like, what I'm saying. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you have this like immature thought, and I had that immature thought. I can admit this.
We were lost, bro.
And,
we didn't have no direction. We didn't have no direction. Nobody to tell us how to really do anything, because our parents were just doing what they could do.
They didn't know. They're still grinding and they're still surviving.
Exactly.
So
but you see the result.
I don't blame my parents 100%. It's just
I understand that they just didn't have direction and they didn't pursue it, but we have an easier access to this information to where we can make a change.
1,000%. But now I start to see what, again, not being a conspiracy guy back then, but now starting to understand, is people are out there wanting controls, and one thing that they're trying to sever is your relationship with your parents and shit like that.
Your family.
Because they're trying to, it's little things like that. It's like, hey, listen, you should move out when you're 21, because now you can start drinking, you can start going to a bar, and don't you want to meet up with some ladies and stuff? They tell you about the ladies, they tell you about the drinks, but they never mention the parents. But they'll mention like, oh, you don't want to bring a girl to your parents. You want your privacy, right?
But some parents will tell them to do that
cut
too.
that line between you and your parents, that loyalty. I start seeing that shit. And then but now as an adult, as a mature adult, working on my grind, going into school, I'm like, I start to think, man, being with my parents right now would help me, like, focus on, I'm not thinking about girls, I'm not thinking about, you know, pussy and all that shit. I'm thinking about my grind and hopefully get a good job so I can support a family in the future. And I'm thinking,
because that'll come, the girl will come, the right one will come. And I'm thinking, man, what would help me right now? Man, if I was with a parent right now that was, you know, handling the mortgage a little bit, and then every now and then I'll help them out, I'll cook them dinner for them working so hard and all this, the least I can do. And I'm like, damn, that would help me out. Why was society trying to cut that tie with parents and shit? And it goes back to control. Exactly. It's the same reason why they incentivize the women to leave marriages. It's because of that shit, because they don't realize that they're just paying more money in taxes because everybody's living in motherfucking apartments instead of homes, instead of being like, hey, we got plenty of room. All y'all motherfuckers pay the mortgage, and then we're all not paying thousands of dollars to live somewhere, but y'all want to have all y'all own shit just to be lonely and begging for people to come over. And that's why you have to go drink every Saturday to feel like your life is worth something.
Yeah.
You got to go drink to feel like your life is worth something.
Yeah.
But you can't even stay and look at yourself and be with yourself and be like, I'm content with what I see in the mirror. There's not a lot of people out there that do that. And if they say they are, they're fucking lying, because their social media says otherwise. They talk about how they say the percentages of how people are unhappy. Women especially.
Oh my God, dude. Like, I swear.
I love my women. Shout out to the women. I'm not talking shit.
Shout out to the good women.
Don't Kevin Samuels me. All right. I don't do that. Don't do that.
Shout out to the good women. There are bad women. There are bad men. But, dude, it's so funny because listen, I love all my friends, and I'm not saying I'm high and mighty above you. I'm not saying that whatsoever. And if I come across that way, let's talk about it, because I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to apologize. But there are people that will come at me and say the phrase, no, they're not. There is no big entity that's trying to do that. Basically a little bit brainwashed, where they're like, what is the purpose of like the government trying to cut ties between you and your parents? What is the government gaining from incentivizing for you not to get married and have a kid?
For women to leave marriages.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Yeah. What are you talking about? I hear that. I do have friends like that. And, they'll talk about like, no, I wanted to leave my parents because I wanted to. And now I think about it, I'm like, did you want to because of what you saw? Because I'm not going to lie, I wasn't influenced by this by any means. I'm not ashamed of my parents. I love my parents to death. But I remember seeing videos of like influencers, like back in the early days of YouTube and stuff like that, where there was like small YouTube stars, where they'll say things like, oh, I'm not even 21, I'm 20, and I'm making like 6 figures. I have my own apartment. And I remember looking at that, like age and money, and looking at that as success. Like, man, you're winning. And don't get me wrong, to a degree, you kind of are.
And think about how much women have to look at to think what success is.
Yeah.
They got the Kardashians. They got Essence Magazine. They have The View. They have anything they want to. Steve Harvey tells them of all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You it's countless. You can go for days.
Yeah.
But for men, it's not a lot, because we don't know how we're really supposed to be successful unless they have the Andrew Tates, the Kevin Samuels, and then what happens? They're dead or in jail.
Exactly. And man, that... It started hitting home. Like, I started seeing like what like success was supposed to look like. And you hit the nail on the head with the women. With the men, there wasn't that much avenue. But then the ones that you did see, the small that you did see, where they had money and they had like cars, they had women, whatever, and you saw that as a success. To a degree, it is. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't the success. It didn't have to be the success. And to me, growing up, me personally, I did see that as success. I did see like, well, if I'm not famous, if I'm not making 6 figures, if I'm not wearing a suit every day, and like being able to hang out with other men in suits and like just reminisce about like college life and stuff like that, then I'm not successful. And I started seeing that, and I started to like a little bit, not resent myself, but I started to think like, well, I'm not them, therefore like I'm a loser and I just got to live a loser life. And I didn't understand that there were different grinds, there were different things you can do, there were different successes you can do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, like, social media didn't like make me depressed, but I can see how social media can make other people look at that, especially females. There's already a documentary out there that there's an algorithm specifically targeting teenage girls. We talked about this on your first appearance, where social media is catered to young girls. And men, naturally, what are men attracted to majority? Like, yeah, there are gay men, but what are majority men attracted to? Women.
To young feminine women.
What are men doing? Not in a creeper vibe, but
not a creeper vibe, but I'm talking about 21 up.
Yeah, but not even 21 up. Like, still, like I'm talking about, like, even if you're like a 15-year-old guy and and you're after a 15-year-old girl, like, obviously appropriate. Men naturally, like, so real quick, I do this joke with, like, you see the birds, male birds mating dance and stuff. How
I don't know.
No, all right. So real quick, the way the male birds try to attract the female birds is like the male birds are the ones with the pretty feathers. Like, so when you think of a peacock, you think
the
of
peacock
like
is the male with the,
it's the males. It's the ones with the pretty feathers and stuff like that. They have to do like dances and stuff to like try to sway the women. And I think of it like in humans where, you know, males are naturally like I'll speak for myself personally. Like in high school, I was trying to find out what kind of guy I am. What kind of, like, what's my archetype type shit. Am I the funny guy? Am I the jock guy? Am I the tough guy? Am I the mysterious guy? What guy am I? I think every guy tries to do that to a degree in high school. And I found out that, like, I'm basically the funny guy, sometimes silly, and chill guy. I'm not really super emotional. I'm not the jock guy and all that stuff.
Who considers the jock a jock?
I think
the people below him, right? Or what would be considered below whatever a jock is.
Oh, yeah.
They would be the ones to say they're a jock. Because me personally, I played sports.
Yeah, because you played football. You didn't consider your players jocks.
Right. Because there were people on the team that were nerds too. Because I was always like
into
fucking
anime.
with anime and shit. So, but people would be embarrassed. Like there would be the niggas running with their hands behind their back to the lunchroom and shit. But you would make fun of them with your niggas because you wouldn't do that. You know, because you know how to act in public. Well, bless my two parents teach me how to act in public. But I know there's a time and a place for that shit. There's just a conversation, and then that's cool. You don't got to bring your collection to the high school.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're transitioning into an adult. It's just a line that you don't got to cross if you don't want to be considered.
Damn, that is so true. Yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Because I fucked with everybody. Like, even people that people didn't fuck with. Like, if I had a friend that I knew for a while, I would talk to them. I didn't care if people considered them there. I don't care because it's not going to be my ass. They wasn't beating my ass. So I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm cool. I don't care. But that's just how I was. That's not everybody. Because people will have that an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to do that.
But man, I'm glad you said that. You legit just blew my mind now because that's right. It's usually the, like, what society, like the the lower level. Thank you. I'm a little tipsy.
It's good.
Lower level hierarchy that gives the name to the bigger one. So you're right. Like, because I considered myself lower, and that's where the name jocks. Like football players like yourself. I don't doubt
they're considered there at the top, and they're not thinking like that.
They're not thinking.
I'm telling you, a bunch of football players are agreeing with me right now.
Yeah, and football players aren't. They didn't probably give them the name jocks.
Like they would hey, we are people, the jocks. Like they would still give people a hard time. Like they give me a hard ass time. I used to be pretty ugly. So so like them niggas would be on my ass, but it taught me a lesson.
I'm honestly jealous that I wasn't into sports. I wanted to get into wrestling back in my high school. I don't know. I don't know why I never like pulled the trigger on it.
You gotta really want it, bro. I really want it.
You really did, but I just never did. But I respect athletes now, like just because, like, this is gonna sound silly, but I vibe with this environment. Hazing. Mm-hmm. I love hazing.
I fuck with it, especially now because it's like to talk shit and laugh.
Oh my god, dude! Like, my friends, like, we haze each other. Don't get me wrong. I thrive in that environment, like
because they respect you if you can take it.
Oh my god,
dish it out.
Like the things you can. There's a funny high school story. Real quick, we're almost coming to the end, but so I did get along with a lot of people. There are some enemies I've made. In my math class, there was a bunch of baseball players. There was this one particular baseball player I really didn't like. He didn't like me. He would try to bully me. And but the other baseball players that I was cool with, they would make fun of me and I would laugh. The guy who I didn't like, he would make fun of me. I didn't laugh. And he would be like, he caught on and he was like, how come you laugh when they make fun of you, but when I make fun of you, you don't laugh? And this was true. I was like, because they were funny. I will laugh at myself. I'm not higher.
Some people be trying to do that, but be assholes. Like they go too far with this shit.
You are an asshole because you don't like me, and I don't like you. You're not being funny. But if you make it funny, I'm gonna laugh at myself. Are you kidding me? But make it funny. Yeah. It's a joke. And so I started. I realized that small moment. You're right. Like the lower gives the name. I respected jocks. I was like, no, not all jocks are douchebags and egostisticals and all that stuff. Like some are good and all that stuff. They respected me, I respected them. It was just one particular person I didn't like.
And that's a great analogy to life. And that goes to show that if you don't like a hierarchy, whether you like it or not, it's in everything in life.
It is.
Whatever you're trying to pursue, there's a hierarchy. Because if you're trying to own a business, you're going to be at the top of that hierarchy, right? If you're trying to work for a top corporation, you're going to be right below the person who runs at the top of the hierarchy.
100%. So, like, I'll end with this, and then I'll give you a chance to talk. Yeah, is that, like, going back with girls, is that men naturally, especially for me, like, again, I can only speak for myself. In high school, I was trying to find out what kind of guy I am. And then when I found out, like, oh, you know, like, like, I can be silly, I can be funny. And so, I didn't think I was a good-looking dude. So what I would try to do is I would try to make a woman laugh. And so, you know, I try to thrive in that archetype. And I think it's good for that. Like, I think it's good to find what you're good at and try to be the best at that. What social media, in a way, kind of bad is, like you said, like, it's kind of catered towards more for women. And when it shows you, like, what like the best men to get, and then it's like, you know, body positivity, where women go like, oh, these are high standards, you can't expect women to always look this way. Yet they're doing the same thing with guys. They're doing the same thing with guys, being like, oh, I want this, you know, masculine chiseled god, and then men are trying to compete with that, and they're trying to get that, and then they throw words like toxic masculinity and all that stuff, and then it's like, bitch, you don't know what you want. And then you're confusing the young men because they're grinding for that, they're striving for that, because at the end of the day, men don't care about power or money for themselves. They do want it for the things that they can gather, like women,
for what's under their control.
It's not a control. Like, me as a man, I don't know about you, but me as a man, I do want to control things.
It's a structure. Like, that's the only way civilization has been formed to this day.
I don't want to control. Like,
but you need to have control to have a structure.
Exactly. I don't want to control, like, a dictator rule the world, but I do want to control my world. This small podcast, I do want to be able to control this. I don't want some intruder to, like, be able to take over. I want to control this. When I meet a woman, I want to be able to control her to a degree of, like, hey, there are certain things, like, you can't be wild acting, just like I would want you to control me. Hey, now that you're with me, you're committed to me, you can't be wild and acting out.
But if you can do that, and you're supposed to do that, but you got to be at that level.
Yeah.
And that's that high value man level that we not at right now, and most men are not at. Because there's a reason why there's only a couple percentage of men that get there and a couple percentage of women that get those men. Because low-value women aren't getting those men, no matter how hard they try. But we just, as men, as average men, know that if we want a high-value woman or a woman of that caliber, we have to put in a certain amount of work. And that's just the difference between us two, because women have allowed themselves to be in fairy tale land and these people have been selling them dreams. It's not the women's fault. They just fell for the trap. And they say this, but it's just hard for them to break it. And that's why these podcasts are good right now. The red pill community, the feminist community coming together and talking. No matter, even if some of that shit was edited and it's not good, it's good to have the conversation, because the people are seeing this and they're able to decide what they feel about the situation. You know, and then now there's actually a line drawn, and people can say, well, maybe that's cool or that's not. You're going across, you're doing too hard. All right, well, I'll chill out. But that's how you find common ground between people. And we need that, because if we lose that, we lose everything.
We lose everything.
We have nothing left if we continue to give away our rights and shit. We gotta really start acting like we care about policies and politics, because it's two different things. Policy and politics is two different things. And if you don't know anything about policy or politics, but you continue to give your vote or push a vote for somebody who has no interest in you or your people's well-being, then you're just a slave. And people are using your vote to hold you hostage, and they're not even giving you anything for it. And that's the dumbest thing you could do in the world, is give somebody something for free. And you're giving people power who are holding their boot on your neck for free. And that's why I personally don't fuck with voting unless you're getting something out of it.
I 100% agree. I have a family member, not going to say who this person is, but every single time I talk, this person would always be like, oh, you sound like a Republican. And I'm like, why is that? Like, what possesses you to say that phrase, oh, you sound like a Republican?
Because that's what they heard on CNN.
And then it's like what they're listening to. But then later, this same person would be like, oh, all politicians are corrupt. Well, you just knocked me for sounding like a Republican, meaning that if you knock me for sounding a Republican, you side with the Democrats, yet you say the phrase all politicians are corrupt, yet you're siding with somebody.
But not willing to directly condemn those who you
Yeah,
support
it's
that
like,
you said you would put in power if they did a certain thing and they didn't do it. And you're like, oh, well,
and then if
maybe the next one.
yeah, and then people that complain about like, oh, certain things, it's like, wait, can you look at your own? Don't look at this. Don't look at the nation. Don't even look at your state. Look at your little city and look at who's in charge, because I started realizing how powerful local leaders,
branches of government.
yeah, I started seeing how
Brian
powerful
Kemp,
it is.
it's all of them.
Yeah, and it's like,
Warnock
don't get me wrong, like, yeah, like our governor Brian Kemp and all that stuff, but like, look at the lower level, man. Do you even know the mayor of your own city? Do you even know like the small government of your city, and then slowly expand to your county, and then your district, and then your state?
They don't even know how much it costs to do shit like that.
No.
They don't even know where that money's coming from.
And the funny thing is, it does take a 1 minute Google search, but like, you're right, you're absolutely right, where they have it ingrained, they're having it be to fight each other, where they want you to say their names in a dinner conversation, yet they don't know your names, they don't know your birthday, they don't care about you, yet you're talking about the bigger names. You're not even worried about the smaller names, and they're cruising on by. They're just like, as long as we control our little city, we're good.
We're good. And we're going to keep it pushing, and we're going to do as much as we can to shut y'all up and keep it rolling. And then they want the status quo.
They want the status quo.
That's what they want. They don't want nobody doing no extra shit. So Democrats, if you're talking about you want free healthcare, you want universal healthcare, all this stuff y'all asking for, y'all want to ban guns, whatever y'all want to do, just realize that this is a business, and they're gonna do whatever's right. Wherever the money's going, that's where the policy's going.
Because I'll tell you this right now, I don't care whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. I do not give a fuck. Yes, I kind of lean towards one side. I'm not going to say which one it is, but I'm not loyal to that side. Because
absolutely not.
The moment I really do look at our Constitution and see like, man, this is a big deal, like freedom of speech, the right to bear arms. The moment a politician comes in and is trying to attack my rights, I see that as, you're trying to strip me from my natural powers. You're the adversary. But if I see somebody coming along, I don't care whether you have a D or an R next to your name. If you're trying to protect what's already given to me, it's not given to me by government, it's given to me by God, whatever you believe in, but not government, not people, not flesh and blood. It's something you're born with. If you're trying to protect that, I'm gonna side with you.
So you got to go on both sides. If a 7-year-old child says that he feels he was born as a boy or whatever, you gonna let that happen?
No. Right, yeah.
Okay, but you see, like, you can't. That don't go together.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like, you gotta line with me, not you. You gotta line with me. So if you,
but there's so many individuals, and if we did that, we wouldn't get anywhere.
I know. And at the end of the day, it's a trust game, because like what they say on their speeches is not what they probably deliver. It is a trust game. You just don't know unless you can see into the future. I'm just saying.
But let's go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I'll end with this, and then I'll end with you. Is that if for instance, like this basic scenario, if a politician says, I don't care if you have an R&D in your name, if you says something like, hey, I'm here to protect gun rights, and I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm all for that, but then you say like, hey, I believe like this crazy shit that I don't align with, just because you believe in one thing, I'm like, I can't side with you. I'm not compromising on anything. You got to side with me 100%. But if you do side with me 100%, I vote for you, but you don't deliver in Washington, that's my fault, because I trusted you. It sucks, but now I know better. Now you just made it easy that whoever goes against you, again, if they side with me, I'm going to vote for them. Again, it's still a trust game, because at the end of the day, we just don't know. Your thoughts?
But all politicians lie.
All politicians
and they'll tell you what they do before they get in, but just to not do it, because it's not illegal. Yeah. There's no repercussions for them doing that. There's nothing that'll get their shit taken. George George Santos,
Soros.
the one Soros is that
Yeah.
the one that lied? That got in the office, he was lying, and he's talking about he's a drag queen and shit.
Oh no,
you hear about that?
No, not that. No, I didn't hear
That's
about
George Santos, ain't it? I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good.
George, it's gotta be George Santos.
We got.
I'm pretty sure it's George Santos. Y'all.
Okay, we got 3 more minutes.
Yeah. Okay, but they all lie. They're not held to any standard to tell the truth.
Some don't lie, and they're rare, and then that's the ones you got to hold on to in a way. But like that's the ones you got to hold it very accountable to.
They have to give us something before we elect them, and that's what it's going to now. We're not going to get out and vote for y'all motherfuckers unless y'all giving us something.
Yeah, and
that's how it should be. That's how it always should have been.
100%. And like they need to make the process easy. This is what I would say. I think this. I got to give you the last word, but like I'll just say this: they need to make the process easy for us to be able to kick them out of office. Like, yeah. I don't care what position it is. It's got to be easy. I know there's an argument to be made. It's like, then it'll be fickle. It should be fucking fickle.
It's got to be like that.
It's got to be that. We shouldn't just
settle for the shit they said we were supposed to do.
Like, yeah, the moment you're fucking up and we clearly see you're fucking up and you're clearly lying, we got to be able to kick you out swiftly. Not like, oh, it needs to be a huge ass process.
Not even a revolution, just restructuring.
Yeah, it just needs to be swift, and that's just my opinion. But I gotta give you the last word.
I mean, shit. Last word. Just follow us, man. Like if you feel like you want to do something right now, if you feel like you have a voice and you know what you're talking about, don't get on no camera and with no mic and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But if you do know what the fuck you're talking about, bro, make a YouTube, make a podcast, bro. Get your voice out of there.
And I'll be on it. Like I'll talk, and Cale will be on it. We'll talk.
Yeah, but like we gotta get our voices out there because they're censoring left and right. Everybody's opinion matters. It doesn't matter what side you're on. But if you need to see this work first and see y'all talking that big game, we'll make it happen. Well, just watch me for now, and then just see what we do.
All right. Well, Cale, I know you're working on certain things in the future, and when those come into fruition, you're gonna be back on the show. We're gonna talk about it. And I can't wait for that. I can't thank you enough, man, to be. Sorry for the wait, too.
Nah,
like, I know I told you it was going to be in January, but like you're my first guest of 2023, so I hope you feel honored.
Start the year off right, man.
Hell yeah.
But y'all stay in tune with ReID TV. R.E.I.I.D TV.
And then I'll definitely put your Instagram and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And then the moment it comes in, let me know. I'll push it out there too. Hell yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, man, so much.
Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Excellent talk. We'll have a part 3.
Oh, we'll have a
we're
part.
Going Pacquiao Mayweather in this month.
Well, part 10. Like I'm never gonna say no to you, bro.
We didn't even get into the real.
We're gonna get into it.
Oh
man, I can't wait for all that. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Peace.